We've been married for 8 years.
We've lived in Washington, we moved to Texas, we moved to Florida, and then we finally moved here. We bought a home, we had our kids. This is like the first place where we really felt like it was an actual home.
When I became an adult, I always felt like when I have a family, I want to get my children and my family more involved in the church and more involved in following Christ, and I'm just happy that this is where we're at. Last year, when we came and we listened, both of us were very moved individually, which was wonders how God was moving us individually, but also moving us together in a place, because we both walked away and we felt, this is something I want to do. I want to tithe. We want to manage our money better. I came home and he came home from that sermon that day, and we committed to it. But the next step was how can we give that kind of money to the church? We haven't ever given that kind of money. We just faithfully stepped out and started giving. Financial peace was going on. We were putting the pieces together, but it wasn't really that difficult at the beginning for us to give. We just gave. Everything just seemed to be going great. God was delivering some blessings in our lives. We just were consistently giving and able to get out of credit card debt. It was going really well, but I ended up in the hospital twice last year, and then ended up with another medical situation that had me in and out of all kinds of specialist offices. So medical bills started piling up. Around the summertime, we had a breaking point. We
weren't managing the money nearly as
well as we should have been.
Yeah, definitely being tested.
We were
the extra expenses.
Totally being tested by that, and we put God off, and we did not give our tithe for quite a few paychecks, and we kept saying, "Oh, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it," and
it became more and more
difficult.
We were trying to catch up on everything that we were behind on. It wasn't working out well for us.
No, it put us through a storm.
We finally came to the realization that we needed to start giving to the church first again before we even looked at the rest of our bills.
Patrick and I found us back in that place where we were like we were a few years ago with finances, arguing over money, blaming each other, and that's when we came to that point. We said, what are we doing? And we heard the voice in our head saying, you stop trusting me. We came back recently and put our hands together and say, God, we trust you. We apologize. We made a mistake. It came to prayer. And I think before, when we were so easily giving, we weren't joyfully giving, though. This time when we gave, even though it was the last bit, we were just so thankful and so joyful that, we found hope again. And that maybe we were getting out of this storm because God answered us. We kept wondering, why are we not able to pay our bills? We were fine. Why is this being so tough? And God gave us our answer, and we finally listened of, hey, you need to trust me, and you stopped trusting me a few months ago. What's tough is it was that whole point of, do you trust me? And if you do, show it.
Getting tested there in the summertime was kind of a wake-up call that you need to do this, but you need to do it because you want to do it.
We go into giving our tithe a lot different. I think I've heard the saying, treat your tithe like a bill, but on the same part, I don't really worship the electric company. I don't give joyfully to them, but I feel a lot differently when I'm giving to God, and it's very joyful, and both of us do. Like, we both just started feeling that, and we weren't feeling that before.